So in our course on self-guided and tour development, we've divided up in 8 different sections, and we're going to be looking at different things throughout the course. So here in this orientation section, we're going to clarify the types of trips we're discussing and how to choose whether self-guided tours are appropriate for your destination and for your business. In the introduction, we'll then go over what traveler motivations and what the different activities are, as well as looking at the elements that characterize a self-guided tour. In the macro development section, we're then going to go look more into detail at the destination and business considerations to make to decide about adding self-guided trips to your portfolio. We're also going to start looking at route design, but more from a big picture perspective. So looking at design challenges and source market considerations as you think about putting your trip together. In the micro development section, we're going to get more into the specifics of route design and looking specifically at things that compose a self-guided tour. We'll look at distance, elevation, difficulty. We'll look at local activities to include or not include. We'll look at using local transportation within your trip. And we'll consider different styles of trips and why you might choose to do a linear or a point-to-point trip versus a tour that features multi-night stays or even a center-based tour. In the section on supply chain, we'll look in detail into all of the characteristics that your suppliers need to have. So we'll be looking at hotels, restaurants, we'll be looking at what equipment suppliers to use. If you don't have your own bicycles or kayaks, for example, we'll be looking at luggage transfers and how key they are and how important it is to put all those pieces together. We'll also look at the variable costs that are included in pricing a trip and provide tips and considerations on how to contain those costs. In the section on reservations and pricing, we're going to dive deep into the booking and costing process. Since self-guided tours are high volume and low revenue, it's important to streamline that workflow to make everything cost and profit effective. We'll also be looking at IT systems, at reservation systems, and we'll be providing some different examples and models of how companies can price their trips. In the documentation section, we'll be looking at critical information that companies need to provide their travelers and how technology helps to be more sustainable and efficient. We'll also be looking at the difference between road books and looking at the world of maps, mapping and navigation, including some video presentations from some of the major players in the navigational app field. In the section on problems on tour, we're going to be identifying possible problems that can occur on tour and their possible solutions, or even better, how to prevent them from happening. We'll explore what other resources to use since you don't have staff present on that trip. We'll look at what type of emergency contacts and risk management systems you should have in place, and we'll look in detail at some examples of medical emergencies, navigation problems, or weather or other forces of nature. In the final section on sales and marketing, we'll provide some tips on how to best sell and market your products, different from other products that you might have. And we'll also look at some notes on the difference between pricing, between B2B and B2C, how to maintain branding or quality standards across different itineraries, as well as how to work or train distributors, travel agents, or other operators, such as resellers or as suppliers. We will not discuss digital marketing or website optimization or general sales and marketing tips and techniques, but we'll look at what is critical and successful and helpful for self-guided tours. This is what our course will be about, and now we're going to go straight into some of this information.